right, let's just play one more game whenever we have the time and opportunity. So I'm just gonna push one pawn e4. This is Caro-Kann defense. It's going to be interesting to see what we can do against Caro-Kann. So there are many options we can possibly play against the Caro-Kann. I want to play one line that I really love. Okay, knight f6, and I can play knight g5 here just to make it a little bit more entertaining, and knight f3. So now these two knights look kind of strange. And I would like to play one h3 here and asking the question, what do you want to do with your bishop? Knight takes f3. So now white has the pair of bishops. I think this is a good starting point for white. And I place my bishop on c4 and queen on e2. So this is one very nice strategy that I'm waiting a little bit to see how my opponent is handling the situation. So I play a4 now, and indicating that if you want to castle long, I'm already intending to restrict your play. So now bishop f4, and I'm not really sure what I'm really hoping to get, but a5 is a nice expansion, and maybe rook a3 just to keep the position a little bit more flexible. But of course it's obvious now that I will not be castling long. However, this position will give me some very interesting opportunities, and I would like to actually start playing some very interesting moves, such as g4 and king takes d2. Now I am castling in a old-fashioned style. C takes d4, king c1. That's one possibility. But here I would like to start with pawn to g5. That's a very interesting way of play, I believe. Wow, queen f4 is such an interesting way of play also from the black's perspective. And black is now playing very ambitious. I'm kind of getting curious, like why this knight e4 move is played so quickly by opponent, because now I have this beautiful move. Seems like black may likely to lose a knight here. I'm hoping so. So this is not an easy game, but I believe this is a very nice way to take some sort of advantage. Queen takes, then knight f6 is possible. So let's capture with the rook. Knight f6 is possible. Again, maybe I would take knight g5. Now the second rook will join the attack as well. And knight takes e4, it will always reply by queen takes e4 with a checkmate attack. So I think this is a fantastic way to play chess now. Bishop takes e6 or knight takes e6. It doesn't really make too much difference at this point, because I have all the attackers at one place. So my pieces are really playing against opponent's king here. And after queen h4, this is a very beautiful checkmate, ladies and gentlemen. This is a nice illustration of how you can possibly play against Caro-Kann. And this knight f6 move has been quite popular, maybe within the last 5-10 years of time. I've seen this move so many times. Especially, it's interesting to see that almost every single time on Lichess, this move is played. Like on a constant, I mean constantly, this move is the move that I encounter in my blitz games. And this rook a3 is of course a little bit interesting idea that makes position much more interesting usually. But if you would just think a little bit more in depth, for instance b4, bishop takes d2, and here nothing wrong with king takes d2, for instance. Like imagine opponent castles long, even a move like king c3 has not really giving much of a counterplay chance to opponent, because king is very nicely placed already on b3, and we have already restricted a lot the space on the king on the queen side, and later maybe supporting the pawn chain with c3, it will create a very stable structure on the queen side. And even we have more space, which might be quite interesting to see if some queen trades happen. White's king and all these pawns will maybe give the opportunity for white to play for an advantage later in the endgame positions. This is one of the things that might be highly interesting to see, actually. So that's one of the things that I believe quite instructive here. All right, we can play one more game.